Shalom. Want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Harakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, rule and teach well, and honors and salutations to the men of the Lord doing the same, teaching the same. All right, quick video, and of course, got some precepts to go along with it. All right, which you're watching prophecy unfold before your eyes. You're watching the downfall of this wicked uh sinful kingdom, Babylon the Great America. Okay.
Major breaking news in the movie making industry, y'all. Marvel, which is Disney, the biggest movie making machine empire on earth, they are pulling out of the United States, y'all. You heard me. The Fantastic Four, the next Avengers, Spider-Man, they are all moving out of the United States and moving across the water to the United Kingdom. I thought Marvel was located out in California, but the empire is actually in Georgia. And you know what just took place last week in Georgia at that Hyundai plant, right? About 600 Korean people left the plant, and now the plant is in bad condition, and now Marvel, Disney is pulling
raise your hands if you love Marvel action movies. I'm one of those guys. Well, Marvel, which is mostly based in Georgia, has decided to make the decision to leave the United States of America with the loss of up to 20,000 jobs. It's leaving Georgia. It's mainly going to the United Kingdom with some production facilities to Canada. And the reason why it's leaving the United States of America is because it's too expensive to do business in the United States. And also, United States is a bit nuts right now.
So that's 20,000 people out of a job in the state of Georgia once again. And there's talks around town that a whole bunch of celebrities, including Jay-Z and Beyonce, after the wildfires that happened in Los Angeles, they purchased a 58-acre estate in the United Kingdom. Ellen DeGeneres moved to the United Kingdom. Rosie O'Donnell moved to Ireland, I believe. Christina Milian moved to the United Kingdom. Lindsay Lohan. Everybody's leaving the United States, y'all, because they know what's about to happen. And it's not like we care about where these celebrities are going, because that world is over with. But Marvel, the biggest movie making conglomerate, y'all, the shit is here, y'all. Did y'all know about this? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Yeah, you can't run from the judgment of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah. All right. You can't run from it. Okay. Let me first I'm gonna get this precept wise on my mind in Amos. I think it's Amos the 9th chapter. All right. I'm gonna start at verse 2. Okay. So business, Babylon the Great America is losing its glow. You know, it's losing its mirth. You know, that spirit of happiness and creativity, and people, they're making good movies, and man, all this shit coming to an end. People not going to the movie theater, like they used to, because there's so much going on. You still got a lit mirth going on. You still got a lit partying and things like that going on, but it's not how it used to be. All right, it's dying out. Okay, it's dying out. So, and these people can see it. These different businesses. All right, and even these celebrities. The ones that's really rich and can do stuff like that, like what Beyonce and Jay-Z did. Okay, they still not going to escape. Okay, for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, you can't escape the curses. Neither can you escape the judgment that the Lord has for you. Okay. So if you're not of the elect, these demons that the Lord is going to be sending on the earth, they're going to be coming after you specifically by name. All right, if you're not of the elect chosen number, and we're going to prove that. Okay, this Amos 9:2. Amos 9:2. It says, "Though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down." Bear with me. I gotta close my window. All right. Yeah, I like to have my window open, especially in the morning, where that fresh air can come in. All right. It's like therapeutic. Amos 9:2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Okay? So you can't run, you can't hide from these judgments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. Speaking to you 2/3. Okay? You know, and which we can see that in prophecy. You know, we can see you got a few Israelites that's billionaires, billionaires and maybe millionaires. These elites, these elites are let them come on their private island or let them hide in their bunker with them, and, of course, that comes with a price. All right. We know how these wicked elites get down. Okay. But, that's not far-fetched. We can see that happening. All right. We can see these elites letting some of these super big celebrities into the bunkers with them, or on this private island or private jet to escape, whatever, But you can run, but you can't hide, okay? You can run, but you can't hide from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right? All right, so let's go. I'm trying to see what I want. Bear with me. Jeremiah 16:16. All right. So this Jeremiah 16:16. "Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks." Okay? So these fishers are prophets. Okay? These fishers are, apostles. All right? Disciples, prophets. Okay? So they're going to be turned from fishers to hunters. And also, like the scripture says, they're going to be turned into battle axes. All right? Because the Lord is going to turn his those same prophets, all right, those same 144,000 prophets, men, he's going to turn them from, mortal men, prophets that was teaching on the earth, teaching the truth, and he's going to turn them to immortals. All right? He's going to turn them into superhumans. Okay? And the Lord is going to send them back on the earth to conquer, to enslave the earth. All right? The heathens, and the Lord, you got to understand, Yahweh Shai is not going to meet thee as a man, like the scripture says. So, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and the angels, they already know where all these elites got their hiding spots at. They already know where your bunkers at. Okay? They already know. But they're going to let their servants, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to let their servants Okay, the prophets, when he changed them into superhumans, he's going to let them have some fun by coming hunt you down. Okay. All right. So that's what that's talking about. All right. It says, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. All right. So yeah, the Lord is gonna in that day, the Lord is gonna allow us to even, knock off some 2/3. Some wicked Israelites, that's they no doubt about it, you're gonna have some Israelites in some of these bunkers, all right, with some of these elites, all right, men in high power, okay. So we're gonna get our hands busy with them, okay. And the rebels. The rebels are wicked Israelites around the world that's not gonna be affected by not affected that much by World War III. Okay. All right, all the 2/3 in America, Babylon the Great, they're prophesied to, take the mark of the beast and be destroyed by nuclear fire with Babylon the Great America. Okay. Let me go here. So like y'all got heartburn, all right. So this Psalms, I think it's 78 or 79. Bear with me. Yeah, here you go. Psalms, and this is what the Lord did to ancient Egypt, but the Lord is doing it now in these last days again. Okay, Psalm 78 and 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. Right. Okay. So the Lord is going to send more demons on the earth, and they're going to, possess people to do, bad things. They're going to possess people to hurt each other, to go to war with each other. All right. To not get along, to be divided, etc., etc. Okay. So that's what's going to bring about all this, this evil. Okay. Like, Bill Gates and and these other Edomites in power, they're devils, they're wicked. All right. They're the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, and these demons that's on them got them making these decisions, destroying these farmlands, buying up all the farmlands, and kicking these people out the farmlands, and just upright lying, talking about some, all this cheese, all this dairy is contaminated, destroyed, with no evidence, with no proof, and you got to do it, or they can just take your whole land away from you, So that, he's the devil. Esau, is the devil. Salakia, gotta speak in code. All right. I'm gonna speed up too, because I ain't trying to make this long. Luke 21 and 26. All right. Luke 21 and 25 to 26. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay, let's get that in NLT. Yeah. All right, so this is Luke 21 and 25. And there will be strange signs in the sun, moon, and stars. And here on earth the nations will be in turmoil, perplexed by the roaring seas and strange tides. All right, which that's parabolic. It's not literal talking about the seas and the oceans and nothing like that. Okay, it says people will be terrified at what they see coming upon the earth, for the powers in the heavens will be shaken. All right, let's go back. All right, so you got a lot going on. You got World War III, all right, brewing up, and people are terrified of that. You know, you got the signs in the heavens. You got the chariots, all right, the magnificent chariot sightings. You know, hey, like I always say, these chariots, so-called UFOs, they're getting more and more comfortable and closer and closer. All right, that's another sign that Yahweh Shai is on his way, and they about to take over the earth. Okay, and you got a lot of natural disasters. You know, it's all the will of the Lord anyway. Whether Esau is using harp or not, is all the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. That's why the scripture says, He who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Lord is letting this damn devil Esau do what he's doing on the earth in wickedness, all right, until he be taken out of the way. Everything is calculated by the Lord. All right. Yeah, everything is calculated by the Lord, okay? So Esau ain't he think he making and doing everything by his own might and power, but really he's not. All right. All right. Like Yahweh Shah told Pontius that you will have no power except it was given from you, given to you from our Father Yahweh. So precepts like that show you that in the scriptures. Well, we're gonna get Job 9 and 24, okay? But this Isaiah 13 and 14. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. Okay? And you got that happening, all right? And you still got that movement of, Israelites leaving Babylon the Great America. Okay? You still got that. Even though they're not in the truth, they're still saying, make some money, do this, do that, and then shoot out the country. All right. The Lord didn't tell us, and I'm gonna break down the scripture too. Matter of fact, let's head there. We're gonna break down this scripture because it can be taken out of context. All right. I should have it marked. I think it's in Jeremiah. Bear with me. This is in Jeremiah. Bear with me. Yeah, this not literally, okay? So there's Jeremiah 51 and 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Okay? Now, we don't have to flee out of Babylon the Great America physically. You got to flee out of this place spiritually and mentally. Okay? for the Israelites, because the Lord is coming to literally save us. All right. And Lord willing, I'm of that elect number. But those of us that trust in Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, and enduring to the end that you may be saved, when the chariots get here, of the Lord, they're going to deliver the elect in Babylon, the Great America. So you don't have to flee anywhere. The Lord is coming to get you. All right. You just got to be faithful. All right. All right. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. That's right. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. You see? So, and you see it playing out. These prophecies can't be broken. These nations are fed up. Even South Korea is pissed off with Babylon, the Great America, and that's their ally. So they're people that was once their nations that was once their allies. They're becoming their enemies. They're becoming their enemies now. Okay, so it's all playing out. That's why all these nations they don't want to talk about peace no more. They don't want to talk about diplomacy. Why you think Putin always, when he come have these meetings, he's all smiles and it seems like he's all about peace and diplomacy, but they doing the exact opposite. The exact opposite. So hey, the Lord. Let's get Proverbs 21. The Lord is working in these last days. Yahweh mustered the host of the battle. So the Lord wants World War III to come to pass, and it will. That's why it don't matter how much peace agreements, it don't matter, like nothing can resolve this issue, this conflict. World War III will continue to grow. Okay? That's why everybody just at this point getting ready. You got nations getting ready for war. They know it's over with. It reached a point of no return. How they say you went too far. Wrong turn. All right. So your ass can't go back. All right. So this Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. You see? So the Lord is making these countries go to war with each other. Okay? It's just that simple. So Lord willing, that was edifying. Want to end it and go and give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Harakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, rule and teach well, honors and salutations to the men of the Lord, doing the same, teaching the same. Shalom.